Oh, damn. Still not working?
Yeah. Hey, welcome everyone. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh, this is a little crazy. Not quite the set we're used to. So, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is that you are in the world. And
Don't put me on there.
I won't put you on there. All right, welcome to Unstoppable Entrepreneur season 1, episode number 5. Now, a big thing that I really wanted to talk with you guys about today was blogging for profit. Now, I think one of the really big things with this is, number one, I don't want you to be thinking necessarily like, oh, I'm going to go create a blog and that's going to make me money. The thing that you want to be really thinking about is how can you utilize your blog in order to be able to generate the business, right? So to build connection, build rapport, build conversation with people, and then be able to kind of like go from there. Does that make sense? Now, when you're on, please let me know that you can hear me. We've got an interesting Wi-Fi connection going on. Hey, Ainsley, good morning. Okay, so here's the thing. Most people think, and I think a lot of people, when they're thinking about blogging, they're also thinking about, oh, I need to be able to make money straight from the blog. Now, from a marketing perspective, your blog should be there to educate, to create value, to build connection, to be able to build rapport, right? Now, I think the other big, huge part about all of that is that lots of people are sold on this idea that, you know, you just go and put a blog out and people will automatically spend money with you. So what I wanted to share with you guys today is really about how you can utilize this as a tool in your marketing. So when you're thinking about marketing, I want you guys to really be thinking about how can I utilize this in a way to be able to build a really holistic online presence, really, around you, your brand, and all of that kind of thing. So the first thing in order for you to be able to get all this stuff working is you need to know who your niche is, right? So lots of people, now you guys can hear me, right? Give me a thumbs up or a love heart or something. Let me know that you can hear me, or type in the chat box would be even better. And let me know. I can see that there's a couple of you on live with me. Can you hear me? I'll start singing and then your ears will start to bleed, and that's probably not awesome for anyone. So let me know that you can hear me, please, and thank you. Otherwise, we'll need to restart. Okay, I'm going to assume you guys can hear me. All right. So the thing when it comes to niching, now most people, when we start having a niching conversation, they start freaking out because they're like, oh, I don't want to cut my market in half, or I don't want to miss out on a bunch of people, or I know that I can help anyone from like 18 to 65, or, you know, men, women, whatever. The point around niche when it comes to your marketing is having someone that you can kind of imagine is sitting here, like I'm talking with my hands, sitting here behind your phone, sitting behind your camera, sitting inside your computer, that you're creating a conversation with, right? So you can tap into what their problems are. You can tap into what it is that they really want, what they're thinking about at 2 o'clock in the morning, what they're thinking about at, 9 a.m. before the coffee kicks in, right? So the reason that niche is really critical is that you can then be able to, that was good English, you will then be able to start really connecting with those kinds of people. Does that make sense, and are you with me? Hey Sarah, just seen you pop up in there. Trust you can hear me okay. So that's really where niching becomes really important. So when you're thinking about your blog, right, I want you to be thinking about the different kinds of people who you are serving. So let's use an example. So if you wanted to create a blog and start putting out some massive value into the world and offering people advice and hints and tips and giving them some steps forward to get out of their problems, number one, you need to know what their problems are. So if we were to use someone, for example, who is in a job and, you know, they don't mind it, but they would really love to be able to get a promotion or move up in the world or do whatever it is that they wanted to say. Like, one of their problems might be that they're not getting paid the amount that they feel like they should be, that they're always running, that they don't have any spare time, that they're just constantly go, 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 go. So if you know that, you know, some of their issues are around that, and maybe it's around motivation or finding the right role or whatever the case might be, you can start to create a lot of content around that particular person. Now, you might decide in your brain that this person is 37 years old or 42 years old, has a couple of kids at home, they're getting a bit older, and you know that they're going to be ready to move out. So that gives you a really great way of creating connection and rapport with that person who's watching. Now, that doesn't mean that if you've got someone who's 25 or 55 come to you and ask for help, you're not going to say, nah, sorry, can't help you, you don't fit my niche. Of course, if you can help them, you are going to help them, right? You're not going to turn them away. Does that make sense, everyone? Let me know that does make sense. Okay, so that's, I think, the part about niche. And when it comes to creating content, that's a really awesome way of doing it. Now, another really, really cool thing, another tool that I've developed along the way is thinking about the different facets of people. Okay, so again, we're thinking about blogging and coming up with blog ideas, coming up with the stories that you want to be able to tell, coming up with inspiration and ways of being able to bring people through. Okay, so ideally, when you're thinking about your blog, the main reason that you have a blog is to build connection, rapport, awareness, and ideally to be able to generate some leads. So generating leads equals getting inquiries. Getting inquiries equals having conversations with people. Having conversations with people means that you're talking to people, obviously, about where they are now, where they want to be, which will then lead to some people buying from you. So that's sales. Now, we know that when you're making sales, that means that you're making money. And when you're making money, it gives you the freedom and the choice that you really want to be able to work from anywhere, to work with who you want, to be able to work with the people that you like working with, for you to be able to really step up and step into your place with authority and as an expert, really. So a really great way that I came up with in order for you to be able to create oodles amount of content is by using what I call the disco ball. Now, you're multifaceted, right? Now, I can see that Sarah was online. I don't know if she still is. She's in the other room. It's quite hilarious. We're coming to you live from Vegas, incidentally, so I'll show you around the view in a moment. So Sarah, for example, is a mum. She's got 2 kids. She loves gliding. She loves onion soup. She loves creating content. She loves helping people, talking to people. She's really passionate about social media, working with people primarily who have product-based businesses and things like that. Now, she's got so much more to her than just those half a dozen things that I've reeled off, right? So if she was my ideal avatar, which she is, I would be talking about, what do you do for fun? You know, here's how you create more fun in your life. I know that she works her backside off, so different productivity hacks in order to get more out of her day would be really important. If you're in the health industry, then some of the things that you can be thinking about is like how to juggle your children whilst trying to be as healthy as you can, how to manage your house, time hacks, how to meal plan, how to do meal prep. You might be talking about how to entertain your children while you're cooking. You might talk about the importance of managing your calorie intake. I don't know, depends on what it is that you're doing. So the other thing that I think is really cool here, you can put a post up or a blog about, oh, I found this really awesome thing in Kmart, freaking love Kmart, or Walmart or Whole Foods if you're in the States, you know, those kinds of things, or Sainsbury's if you're in the UK. You know, you can put out different things that may not be seemingly related to what it is that you do, but it's a way of being able to connect with your niche, because your niche is multifaceted. I'm going to draw a hand picture on here. So if you've got a big circle and it's like a disco ball, and you've got all the different facets of your disco ball, each of those tiles on a disco ball represents a different facet of you, as well as a different facet of your niche. What you'll start to see are that there are contrasts of your people. So I love Kmart, for example, and I also love Louis Vuitton. I love staying in 5-star hotels. I also love camping. So, you know, I love going to snow and going snowboarding. I'm all about adrenaline, and I also love day spas, right? You know, relaxing and chilling out and all that kind of thing. So I think, you know, for every point that you identify with your niche, and this is why niching is so important, you'll be able to identify the contrasting point or the polar opposite for your niche as well. And that gives you 2 sources of blog content, okay? I think really the biggest thing that the majority of people come up with is that, although the biggest thing is how to do it technically. Now, you could film your blogs on your phone. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get the camera around. Oops. So like I've just got the tripod there, and that's the little thing. I'm filming in the bedroom that I'm staying in. So you've got, oops, I've just got like a little attachment. I bought this tripod on, I think it was like $20 delivered or something like that. It fits my phone in there. Now, if you're going to film your blogs on your phone, they need to be landscape, okay, not portrait. You want them to be landscape so that when they go onto the big screen, it doesn't just kind of like look like that. You want it to be up nice and big. Then what you can do is you can edit these videos in iMovie. If you've got an iPhone, you can download the iMovie app. You can edit them in there. I do tend to put them onto my computer and then use iMovie on my computer to edit them before I go and publish them on the blog. So that's one way. You could use a camera. I also film with a digital SLR. Most of the time it's just got an SD card that goes in there, and I just flick it over to video mode and I just film on there. Same thing, put it into my computer and edit it using iMovie on there. So, you know, that's like a couple of the technical things, but really the biggest thing is this. Just start putting stuff out there. Don't wait, please. That the timing is never right for you to start creating content, for you to start building a brand around you, for you to be able to start having conversations with people. And just make sure that when you're putting your blogs out there, that you're also actually creating a way for your people to be able to give you their name and email address so that you can have that conversation with them, all right? So that you can start building relationships with them. Because most people are stuck in this forever researching mode, right? So they'll be going and researching XYZ. They'll be looking at, so I can put this back a little bit more. I can sort of start to talk with my hands a bit more. So they'll be over here researching this thing, and then they'll be over here researching that thing, and then that thing, and then that thing, and then that thing. And then the big thing that they have is that they've got all of this information, this plethora of information that they don't actually know how to bring everything together. So you want to be able to help them by collecting their information, be able to give them something for free in order to get them moving a little bit faster and a bit more sustainably. And usually most people take action better when they're actually talking to someone, okay? Now, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to throw this open to Q&A. So if you've got any questions, go ahead and type them in there now. And, you know, it's open season. I'll answer whatever you have. So that's a little bit about that. Now, in terms of what I think the best kind of blog platforms, number one, you want to have your blog on your own domain. So not a WordPress.org site, not anything else for that matter. You want it to be yourname.com, right? Or yourname.com.au, depending on where it is that you are. Now, I reckon, my opinion is that WordPress is probably the easiest, or maybe the simplest technology for you to be able to utilize. Now, so what that means is you'll need to go to a hosting company, register the domain, and register hosting. Okay, so if you're in Australia, you could use Crazy Domains. If you're in the States, you might use Bluehost or HostGator or, you know, something like that. Most of those companies have what's called a cPanel at the back end of all of their account settings, and you can load WordPress as the operating system onto your URL. Now, I know that I'm getting a little bit techie here, so just, you know, roll with me. The good thing with this is that if you're having technical issues, if you're not a techie person, one of the good things that you can do is you just hop on the phone to those tech support people and you say, oh my gosh, I need to put WordPress onto my site and I don't know how to do it. They'll usually do it for you, okay? Don't tell them I told you. It takes about 3 minutes. It's super fast, and you'll have the logons and everything sent to you so that you can then start building out how it looks and using different templates and things like that. Now, you could go and pay someone to design your website for you. You could just go and download a theme. You could go and do some education on how to build that. You're welcome to do that. I think the best way to do it is for you to not do it yourself, right? It'll take you, I know, because I taught myself how to build websites when I first started, and my gosh, it did not look pretty, right? And even to the point now where I'm just having my website professionally redesigned right now in order to finally get things made over. So that's the blog that I've got going out, that I've got created. So I think really the key message there is that when you are adding value and you're putting really great content out there for people who need to hear you, who they get you, who you can add massive value to, which is why niching is so important, then it gives people the chance and the opportunity to actually start to build a relationship with you, to get a really good solid feel for who and how you are. Now, I was talking to a lady yesterday, and we were talking about how I was online compared to how I was on the phone, and I'm the same, right? I'm no bullshit, down the line, this is what you can do, you know, la la la. So that way, when people start talking to me, they already know what it is that they are going to get. Like, there's no surprises. So the way I am in my blog is the same way that I am on these live videos, which is the same way I am when I'm training, just through that door, just over in there. So, you know, and then when you end up in a room with me or you end up on a call, there's that level of consistency. And so that's really the big thing that you want to be thinking with your website or with your blog is, how can you create that authentic? I know that's an overused word in the marketing industry, but it is actually true. It's really important. You want to feel authentic. You want people to feel like you're authentic. You want to be able to convey a very strong message that makes sense to those people and build consistency around your brand, if you like, which is you. Now, so many people will say to me, oh, look, you know, I just don't know how to position myself online. Hi, Joe. I don't know how to, communicate to what it is that I want to say. I don't know how to stand out from the crowd. And my really big, red hot piece of advice around that is, dude, you just need to be you, right? Just be you. Show up as who you are and how you are normally and naturally with your clients, and everything else tends to fall into place. So if you think about it, right? If you are going to show up as you and you're going to communicate, you're going to add value, you're going to talk to your niche, you're going to talk to the problems that they're having, you're going to offer advice and solutions, then they are going to very, very quickly get a feel for how you are, right? Versus the latest marketing trick or the latest marketing hack or whatever. Just be you, right? Don't worry about trying to be a particular way. Don't worry about trying to be professional if that's not your thing. I mean, do I help people get results? Hell yes. Do I swear? Yes. Am I professional probably in the LinkedIn version of professional? No. But does my stuff work? Yes. Am I good at teaching and facilitating this stuff? Yes. So that's where, I'm not going to try and pretend to be someone that I'm not. And I've done that, right? When I very first started, it's so funny. If you go to my YouTube channel, which is just my name, who would have thought, go to my YouTube channel and take a look at some of the early videos of me. Now, this is guaranteed to get you laughing, right? One of the very, very first blogs that I put up there, I just left the bank, right? And I was all professional and I was sitting down and you could only see, sort of scunch down a little bit. No, I can't, the camera's too high. So it was from about here upwards and I was standing there, I was saying, hi, my name is Nicola. Welcome to Stylish Silhouettes. Today what we're going to be talking about is how you can be professional whilst blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, it was vomit worthy. So if you want to go back and have a look, you will laugh your backsides off. I guarantee it. Have a good laugh on me. Now, I think that was from 2011. So yeah, have a right old laugh at me, because I think the big part about that with why I was like that, I just come out of corporate. And I really thought that the only way that I was going to be taken seriously in the land of entrepreneurialism was by being professional, and by being professional in the way that I thought somebody had to be professional in order to be trusted and believed. Was it still me? Yes. But I was really trying very, very hard to present in a particular kind of way, because I thought to be taken seriously in business, you needed to be serious. And yes, you've got to be able to deliver, but I don't think that professionalism is necessarily the benchmark for being professional and for you being able to facilitate a result. So when you're thinking about your blogs and you're thinking about your videos and actually you're thinking about all of your marketing, the thing that I really want you guys to be focusing on is just showing up as you, talking about the stuff that you know, talking about the things that you know that are a no-brainer, that are absolutely 100% true for you, with your knowledge, based on your experience, based on what it is that you've got going on out there, and create videos in that kind of way. I think the other big thing around that is that just, if you're, like Joan Senko, I'm not sure if you're still on the call, on this live, but I can see your name in there. One of the big things that, her and I were talking about is, are people going to resonate with this email? This is what I think I should put out there, and things like that. And the biggest thing that I can say to you guys is just put it out there and see what happens. So she does a Friday funny. It's the best thing ever. I love dad jokes. I love to laugh at really bad dad jokes. They're so funny. I think they're hilarious. And so she started doing these Friday funnies, and her market are parents with young children. So they like to laugh a lot, right? And I think that shows another element, another facet of you guys. Now, you don't have to go out there telling bad dad jokes. You don't have to go out there being silly or anything like that. I just want you to be you. I want you to feel really good talking to your people, creating the content that's really helpful, right? And putting that up on your blog as often as possible. Now, in terms of the kinds of pages that you probably want to have on your blog, you want the blog page. So that's where you've got either your writing or your videos up on there that people can consume, right? The next thing that I would suggest that you have on there is definitely an About Me page. And I would write your About Me page like you're speaking. I hate reading About Me pages that are written in the third person. To me, they sound often a little bit contrived, a little bit manufactured, and it doesn't really sound like you. I would also have a praises tab in your website, in your blog site, so that you can give some testimonials. And Even if you've only got a few clients, put those testimonials up, ask them for a testimonial, put that stuff up there. I would put a thing on there with how to work with you, right? So how to get more of you. And on that part, on that page, you really want to be collecting a name and an email address and a phone number. And often, tell me a little bit about yourself. And then that way, what happens is people have had the chance to go through your site. They get a feeling for you and how you are, right? And then they put in their information to hop on the phone with you. And on that phone call, you will either make an offer for them to start to work with you, or you'll let them go. Like, depending on what it is for you, you'll make that judgment on the call. But really, that's why your website exists. For people to get to know you in the way that you are, for you to be able to present in a way that adds value to people, and then it's that second stage where you make money. Just going up and putting up a blog isn't going to make you money, okay? So you want to have a way of being able to hop on the phone with people, or get them enrolled in a webinar, or give them something for free in exchange for their name and email address, and then take them through that next step within your marketing process, which is usually, right, all this information is excellent, but what are you going to do from here on out? All of this stuff has been really helpful, is probably getting you motivated, and that's great, but what now? Because that sense of motivation for most people doesn't keep going, right? It's not continuously sustainable. They tend to, initially particularly, they tend to need those inspiration hits or those motivation hits a little bit more regularly. Alrighty, so for those of you who are on live, you're very welcome. Go ahead and type any questions that you've got. If you're listening to the recording, make sure you go and type in any questions there as well. If you're listening to the recording of this, I'll come in and answer them for you, obviously by text, because we won't be on live, so that would be silly. If you've got live questions, type them in now, and I'll answer them for you right now. I think one of the really, really big things that most people ask me is, how important is it to have a blog? Now, if you're a coach, a trainer, a mentor, you might be doing e-courses or something like that, it is critical. It doesn't need to look fantastic unless you're a graphic designer or a web designer. You probably want to have something that looks half decent, because that's what you're going to be selling. So it doesn't need to be pretty. It's just got to be really excellent content that you're putting out there. Okay, so I guess in summary, the things that we've talked about today are the importance of choosing a niche, right? For marketing purposes, it doesn't mean that you're not going to work with people if they fall outside of that niche. It's just going to enable you and create a sense of freedom for you with how you're going to be able to come up with content ideas. We've talked about the disco ball, right? So those multiple facets that people have that you can utilize in order to create a connection with people, and in order for you to be able to add value to them, and have them understanding that you are, that you've got some empathy, I guess, really, with where they're at, and that you get them. Yeah. The other thing that we've talked about is coming up with those different ideas for content, and some of the technical know-how with what you need to do, and the platforms that are available to you. So what I would love to do, if, as I said, if you've got questions, now's the time, or like forever hold your peace. The big thing that I'd like to say to you guys this morning is that if you would, I'm putting together a bit of a plan, which is a blogging for profit plan. If this is something that you would like to get access to as soon as it's done, I'm putting the finishing touches on it now. If you would like to get access to that, just go ahead, type your email address in the comments under here. You can send me a message, and I'll send that through to you once it's done. It's not finished yet, okay? So it'll take a few days or maybe a week or so. I'm in Vegas, so I don't know that I'm going to get a chance to do it this week. But I'll get that finished product through to you as soon as it's done, which is essentially a summary of what it is that we've talked about today. Now, after that, what I'm inviting you guys to do once you've got that, and you're like, oh, this is really freaking awesome, but now I've got that structure, I just need a bit more help with the implementation, and how to plug this into my overall marketing plan, then I'm going to invite you to hop onto a session with me. Okay, so that would be you and me one-on-one on the phone, talking about how you can blog for profit and building a plan for your coaching, training, mentoring business so that you can start to build an authentic and holistic brand around you, using your blog as a really pivotal point of contact for people so that they can get a really good solid feel for how you are. And the great thing about that is that most people will go and research you before they will hop on a phone call with you. They will want to get a feel for how you are on Facebook. They'll probably Google you. So they will want to go and have a look at your website. They will want to go and check you out on Instagram, right? Not everybody will, but many people will. So what we want to do is build this blog into your overall marketing strategy so that you're very confidently and easily being able to leverage what it is that you've got going on out there. And I think that that's the key, really. It's leverage, right? So that you can use the content that you're putting out there and utilize it and reuse it in multiple ways in order for you to be able to connect with people. Alrighty. So without any further ado, my name is Nicola. If you want this blogging for profit checklist, then go ahead, put your information underneath and I'll shoot it through for you as soon as it's done. If you've got any other questions, make sure that you go ahead and write them in there so that I can answer them for you. Go ahead and check out my blog, obviously, and you'll see the before the redesign view now. I've got website shame, don't judge me, but the content is more important than how I feel about my website right now. And then if you're really that inclined, if you want to have a really funny laugh at my expense, then go over to YouTube and just keep clicking that load more videos until you get right to the start and see some of those really early videos that I put out there, which is about me thinking that in order to be taken seriously, I needed to be super professional. And so that was what I was doing. Alrighty. My name's Nicola. I look forward to seeing you next week. Now, next week we are talking about all the other things that come into play when you are growing your business. So the 7 main things that you need to be aware of as well as growing your business. So as well as taking the action, as well as doing your marketing, your sales, and focusing on like revenue generation, I'm going to talk you through the other things that you need to be very, very aware of so that you're setting yourself up for success, so that you're setting yourself up for sustainability, and so that you're setting yourself up to have the best, most consistent mindset throughout this journey that you are taking in the world of entrepreneurialism. All right. Have a really amazing day, guys. Have a really great afternoon. If you're in the States, sleep well. If you're in the UK, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye. See you, love you, bye.